There comes a moment, after you've sat with yourself enough times, when something unexpected happens. You stop fighting who you are, not in a dramatic way, not like a sudden breakthrough scene from a movie, but quietly, subtly, almost unnoticed. You stop arguing with your emotions. You stop rushing yourself to get better. You stop asking, "Why am I like this?" with frustration, and start asking it with curiosity. That's where healing actually begins. Healing doesn't start when pain disappears. Healing starts when resistance ends. When you sit with yourself consistently, you realize something important. Most of your pain wasn't caused by the emotion itself, but by how long you've been rejecting it. You weren't exhausted because you felt sad. You were exhausted because you never allowed yourself to feel it fully. You weren't anxious because something was wrong with you. You were anxious because you kept telling yourself to calm down instead of asking why. You were overwhelmed. Sitting with yourself teaches you a new relationship with pain. You stop seeing pain as something that needs to be fixed immediately. You start seeing it as something that needs to be understood. And understanding is healing. There will be days when sitting with yourself feels heavy, when emotions come in waves, when tears arrive without a clear reason. Those days are not setbacks, they are releases. Because emotions that surface are emotions that are finally safe enough to be felt. Most people think healing looks like constant progress, but real healing looks like honesty. Some days you'll feel strong, some days you'll feel fragile, and both are valid. Sitting with yourself allows both to exist without shame, and slowly something shifts inside your nervous system. You start feeling less reactive, less triggered, less overwhelmed by small things. Not because life became easier, but because you became safer for yourself. That's inner peace. Inner peace isn't the absence of problems. It's the absence of internal war. It's when your thoughts stop attacking you, when your emotions stop scaring you, when silence stops feeling threatening. And this kind of peace doesn't come from controlling life. It comes from accepting yourself. When you sit with yourself, you begin to notice patterns that once controlled you unconsciously. You see how you overgive when you're afraid of being abandoned, how you stay busy when you don't want to feel, how you chase validation when you doubt your worth, and instead of judging these patterns, you soften toward them. You realize these behaviors once protected you, and compassion replaces criticism. That compassion is healing, because healing isn't about becoming someone new. It's about becoming safe enough to be who you already are. And from that place, inner peace begins to grow. You start choosing slower mornings, quieter evenings, more intentional conversations, less chaos disguised as excitement. You don't crave constant stimulation anymore. You don't fear boredom. You don't feel the need to fill every silence because silence has stopped being empty. It's become familiar, peaceful, grounded. You begin to enjoy your own company. Not in a lonely way, but in a settled way. You trust yourself more. You listen to yourself more. You stop gaslighting your own feelings. And when life throws challenges at you, because it always will, you don't collapse inward. You sit with yourself through it. You allow disappointment without self-blame. You allow grief without rushing the process. You allow uncertainty without panic. That's emotional maturity. That's healing integrated into daily life. And one of the most beautiful side effects of this kind of inner peace is how it changes your relationships. You stop seeking others to complete you. You stop tolerating disrespect just to avoid loneliness. You stop expecting people to regulate emotions you haven't acknowledged yourself. You connect from fullness, not from lack. And that creates healthier bonds, deeper understanding, and clearer boundaries. But most importantly, you stop abandoning yourself in moments when you need yourself the most. You stay, you sit, you listen. And over time, your inner world becomes a place you don't fear visiting. So if you're in a phase where life feels loud, where your mind feels crowded, where your heart feels tired, this is not a sign to escape. This is an invitation to come back to yourself, to sit with yourself, not to analyze, not to fix, not to judge, but to be present. Because the more you sit with yourself, the more you realize you were never broken. You were just unheard. And inner peace isn't something you find outside. It's something that grows when you finally decide to stay with yourself through everything. In the stillness, you uncover resilience. It's in the quiet moments that you hear the whispers of your soul, guiding you towards your truth. Each star becomes a reminder of the vastness within you, the infinite capacity to grow, heal, and transform. Each night, you plant seeds in the dark, seeds of hope, of dreams, of new beginnings. When you walk with nature, you realize you are part of something bigger. The trees stand tall, roots deep yet reaching for the stars. They teach you patience and the beauty of seasons and cycles, and in the end, it comes full circle. You meet yourself with kindness, with grace. You see not just who you were, but who you are becoming. Every morning, a new opportunity greets you. To start afresh, to be present, to choose peace. And so, the journey continues. A journey that never ends, because it is the journey of coming home. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on this video, and do subscribe to my YouTube channel if you feel connected with this content. Good luck, and stay safe.